Is the original Fuji FinePix X100 autofocus up to the demands of modern street photography? That's exactly what we're going to find out today. No other camera in history has been so hotly anticipated and then let buyers down so thoroughly that it became the brunt of jokes for years after launch. When it was released, the X100 was a mess. Its menu system was extremely slow and unresponsive. The camera needed perfect lighting for autofocus to work, and when it did, it was extremely slow. Focusing on anything within an arm's length required you to put the camera into macro mode, and then the camera would blank out for a second after you hit the shutter button. I picked this camera up used a year after its launch for about 500 bucks. The rangefinder size was just too good to pass up after years of hauling around my DSLR, but I had completely missed the launch fiasco. After shooting with it a few times, the experience was so bad that I put it away in my closet and didn't look at it again. Fast forward multiple house moves and I had completely forgotten that I owned it. But a couple years back, I noticed the box while doing some spring cleaning and pulled the camera out. It was just as bad as I remembered, but I decided to update the camera with multiple years worth of firmware downloads, and to my surprise, it totally changed how the camera functioned. And since picking it back up, it's produced some of my favorite images. And this camera really does produce some outstanding images in the right hands, and they don't look half bad in my hands either. Turns out Fuji fixed a lot of the camera's problems after its release, and this probably helped build trust with potential customers and launch the X100 series into what it is today. It's easy to see why the original Fuji X100 is still so sought after today. Its honest, organic rendering is extremely appealing in the age of AI processed images. Yes, the autofocus on the FinePix version is still slow by modern standards, but is it now good enough for street photography? Today I'm headed out to Balsan Station in Seoul, South Korea to test how the X100's autofocus performs in real-world street photography demands. We're going to work through the autofocus settings from the least likely to work for street use to the most hopeful approach to get sharp shots. And at the end, I'll show you two old-school techniques that can turn the Fuji FinePix X100 into a real street weapon. Okay, I'm here at the station, and now all I have to do is put the Fuji on autofocus continuous to start the test. For that, I just have to change this little side switch here from single point autofocus to continuous autofocus here on the bottom, and the camera should snap to life. Okay, not quite snap to life, it's still a Fuji after all. Now, the first thing you'll see is a crosshair in the center of your screen. The FinePix X100 will try to keep anything within these crosshairs in focus, and to my knowledge, there's no way to move the crosshair if you want to focus on something else in your frame. So that's the first limitation of this continuous autofocus setting. You need to capture subjects in the dead center of your composition. For this test, I put the aperture to f2 for the most shallow depth of field, and most shots were taken with a shutter speed of 1/1000th of a second to prevent motion blur. I'm focusing on crosswalk runners and bikes to try to stress the AF system. And don't expect any Pulitzer Prize winning shots, this is just a street focus test. Okay, here comes a biker. Oh, we might have a runner here. Let's see if she gallops across the road. All right, here is a motorcycle. And we got a little e-bike. And we got another bike here. Seoul Public Trans bike. A very unexpected result from continual autofocus. And now it's time for single point autofocus. All we have to do is go back to this focus tab on the side of the camera and switch the tab into the middle right there. I typically use the camera in single point autofocus, so I'm expecting good things, but it's going to be hard to beat the continual autofocus score. To be honest, the score here is about what I expected, a pretty good showing. Okay, it's time for manual focus, and of all the focus settings on the Fuji, the manual focus was probably the most criticized at launch, so it's going to be really interesting to see how the camera performs today. When the camera launched, the lens had an impossibly long focus throw. Since it's a focus by wire lens and doesn't require any mechanical linkage, Fuji was able to correct this pretty quickly with firmware. It's now shorter, but still takes a massive 600 degrees to go from close focus to infinity. That's nearly 2 turns of the focus ring. Now, the good news is that Fuji implemented a graduated system. The first turn of the focus ring is really for fine-tuning close focus, bringing the focus from near 0 to about 20 centimeters. For street photographers though, it only takes a quarter turn to go from 1 meter to infinity focus. That's great and very handy for street work. Not so great is the focus peaking. If you rely on manual focus, you're stuck with white, which can make it tough to see what you're focusing on. Luckily, if you're using manual focus, you can use the AFL button to focus the lens quickly as if in single autofocus mode, and then fine-tune focus with the focus ring if needed. Since manual focus is a two-handed operation, I'm gonna skip the street footage and just show you the results. Manual focus proved nearly impossible to use because the white focus peaking blended into the crosswalk and the scene was exceptionally bright. Using manual focus this way is not viable, but in a moment I'll tell you how to use it effectively on the street. A really terrible result. Like I said, it is not viable to shoot this way. So at the end of the day, is the FinePix X100 usable for street photography? Yes, absolutely. If you look at the test shots, single point autofocus worked decently. Continuous autofocus also worked decently despite the camera's reputation. Manual focus, the way I was using it, was very problematic. But I want to show you 2 approaches to focusing on the street that you should implement if you have the camera. These are old school street photography approaches, so nothing new. The first is focusing and recomposing. If you're a lazy street shooter and like to camp out at a spot with a great background or something, simply use single point autofocus to lock your focus on a location where a subject is highly likely to enter. If you're using a moderate or narrow aperture, your depth of focus should be deep enough to get your subject in focus. I use this approach a lot and it works beautifully. There are actually 2 ways to do this. You can either focus with a half press of the shutter button in single point autofocus, or put the camera in manual mode and focus the lens with the AFL button. This way, the camera won't change focus when you try to snap multiple pictures in the same spot. The second is zone focusing. A lot of street photographers set their camera up to a narrow aperture and a specific distance prior to heading out, and then don't worry much about focusing on subjects while shooting. They simply shoot subjects they think will be in the focus plane. If you need help with understanding depth of field and what should be in focus at various settings, I created a handy infographic for you. Look for a link to it in the show notes. If you like to parkour through the streets to catch fast-moving subjects as they try and get away from you, you're gonna miss a lot of shots. There's no face tracking here, and the continual autofocus is a bit of a joke at best. So the camera does not work well if you're constantly changing focus to catch people as they move. If you want to use this camera for street photography, stick to slower moving subjects. I love this camera, and the organic rendering it produces really works well to capture Seoul's chaotic landscape. This coming week I'm heading out to Mole, Korea's hippest neighborhood, where indie cafes are repurposing old industrial spaces for a gritty aesthetic. If you want to watch how the original X100 performs for that photo project, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified of the video. And if you want to see how the original X100 works capturing a 600-year-old Korean school, click this link right here.